Go.
Oh my gosh! Oh my!
Hey everyone, it's Cube Champ, and today we're going to be talking about the YJ MGC line. These cubes are very, very good, and they come at a very, very low price too. Even though they came out quite a while ago, I would say they're still definitely worth it in 2023, especially at the very, very low price point. Now let's go ahead and break into each of these cubes individually. For the sake of this video, we're going to be leaving out the 3x3, just because there are so many varieties of it, it would be somewhat pointless to talk about. The 2x2 out of the box is very, very good. It's very light, it is slightly flimsy, and has very, very good quarter cutting. The cube itself is very fast and has an airy feel in it, and it also is quite a cheap cube, and it does not cost that much. I would recommend this cube to almost any beginners because I can perform just as well on it as I could on a high quality premium 2x2. For 2x2, the cubes these days are basically perfect, and I would say the YJ MGC lives up to this, and it is almost perfect. If I had any critiques for this cube, I would have to say that maybe it just corner twists a bit too easily. The 4x4, in my opinion, is the best out of the group. This one came almost perfectly tensioned out of the box, maybe a bit too tight if anything. The cube has very, very good corner cutting, has a slight airy feel to it just like the 2x2, and it is very fast. Just to note, this cube is 60mm, which might be a little bit bigger than a 59mm cube you might be using. Most 4x4s normally come in 59mm or 60mm. And if this makes a difference to you, you might want to consider that when buying. Overall though, I would highly recommend the 4x4, as it is probably the best out of this entire line, and I use it as my main myself. I would compare the 5x5 slightly like the 4x4. It is the very same feeling, it is fast and it has a dry feeling, and it is also slightly airy as you turn. On the opposite end of the spectrum though, this one was maybe a bit too loose out of the box and I had to tighten it down a little bit. It also has very good corner cutting. I find the speed on this cube is very, very good, and it is 62mm. This cube almost has the absolute perfect strength of magnets, as I feel as though it is very, very stable, as with the rest of the MGC big cubes. Overall, I would highly recommend the 5x5. The 6x6 is probably the most revolutionary out of the group. This one became the instant mains of a lot of professional speed cubers. In my opinion, this one is probably the second best out of the group. It is very fast and it has the same airy feel as the rest of the cubes. It is also very, very stable, and I'm never too scared that I'm going to lock up or pop when solving on this cube. Out of the box though, I definitely would tighten it just a bit because it did come very loose. With the 6x6, I really don't have a lot of popping issues on it as I do with the 7x7, and I've never really had any big lockups on the 6x6. Again, I would once again highly recommend the 6x6. If I had to give the title of worst to any of the cubes in this line, it would probably go to the 7x7. The 7x7 is still really good though. It is also very, very stable and probably has the strongest magnet strength out of any of these. The one downside of it is that it does pop and lock up quite a bit, much more than the 6x6. It is still very fast though and has the same airy feel as the other ones. The 7x7 is also bigger, and it might be a lot bigger than any other 7x7 you might be using. Even with all these downsides, the 7x7 is still very, very good, and I would definitely recommend it to any beginner speed cubers, especially at the very low price of $35.